Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Culture Review. This is May 29th, and wow, the month is almost over, and we're just a few days away from me launching my DIY channel, which I'm really excited about, but I'm equally excited to talk about some other stuff, some things that have happened over the course of the weekend, some things going into the weekend. We are going to focus mostly on some Lucasfilm. There isn't a lot of news out there today, so I think this will be one of the shorter streams, between 60 and 90 minutes in length. So with that being said, let's introduce today's panel and then say hi to each and every one of you out there who are joining us today. Of course, we have one of the longest time panelists. In fact, the three people on your screen right now have basically been with this show, with this panel show, since it began. That is how long this has been going on. So we are closing in on 2 years, or right at 2 years, I believe, at this point. And I just want to say thank you to all three of you. And for those of you out there who've been with us all that time, of course, I'll introduce first and foremost, AFK Bard. How are you today, AFK?
Hey, and woot woot. Go this channel and go us. And right. CC, you're awesome for keeping this ship a sail. Well, everybody, and happy Sunday.
Could not do it without you, AFK, or anybody else here on the panel. And for the guests we get from time to time, which next week we have a guest. I'll advertise that next week, but should be a good time. We've got a lot coming up. We got people headed to Dallas here in the very near future. We also have people that are headed for, obviously Vegas, and then back to Orlando towards the end of the year. And those are all going to be exciting moments for everybody to try to meet up. I know there's going to be a Northeastern meetup for people that are in that area, and maybe a couple of others. I guess there's another one coming up in Arizona, and of course, another one in California. So there's a lot coming up. We can all get together. If we have the opportunity, I say do it. And of course, there's a lot of things you can do, but you could also subscribe and check out Shellback TJC, who has a new camera setup that, I know he's dying to share. How's it going there, Shellback?
Well, it's nothing fancy. It's just a little bit more up here. It's a little like a little $25 ring light on a stand. That's holding my phone. It's got a phone holder right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So,
that's much. It's much better, I bet. And
I can give myself Halo eyes. Look.
Oh, cool. And well, those are not Betty Davis eyes, but It's very cool. It's very cool, and obviously, it will help. You keep your hands free, so you can do more stuff with your content and your streams. Because I know that you're working on that Monday stream, building that up right before Comics Division show. So,
but two years for Shizzle.
Yeah, we have been going this show. I haven't kept exact track, but we are a little over 2 years. A little over 2 years for this.
Well, hot diggity dang.
Yeah, I'm very proud of. Very proud of that. I really am. And I'm proud of all of you for being here. Everybody that's here with the stream, everybody that's that's been a part of this channel for that long. I just want to say thank you. I mean, if we're going to celebrate anything, and it certainly isn't Star Wars, I would say that being able to be together like we have been on Sundays for so long is amazing. So thank you for that. Of course, the last person that we're going to introduce is one of the most talented people I know on YouTube. It's Makini Draws, and I'm fortunate to have him as a friend and a designer of some of the material that's available on my store. Makini, what's going on, brother?
And I didn't boomer it this time, so yeah, I was ready to hit that button. I was like, and I appreciate the fact that in the 2 years we've been doing this, you always kind of introduce me as like last, and so it's saving the best for last. Basically.
That's what I do.
That's what
Absolutely,
I feel special. I feel very special like that. And if we're talking cameras, I got a $100 iPivo V4K webcam. So.
Nice.
Mounted on 3 sketchbooks so you can actually see the full page. So
that's amazing.
And other than that, yeah, happy 2 years.
Yeah, it's a little give or take a week or so. Yeah, and of course, we did occasionally have some downtime, where there's a Sunday here or there that we missed, but basically about 2 years of this show. So.
And always per tradition, we always have my show right after. It always feels like we get that Sunday double feature, basically, of the Sunday Culture Review and then Makini Live right after. Speaking of which, Makini Live will return on Sunday, June 5th at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. And it is going to be a fun summer, and it's going to be I want it to be our final push to 1K. Or just like pulling out all the stops, just going flat out on this next season. So.
I'm a big fan. I love all of the art that you've been doing. I mean, obviously, I feature you when you're drawing from time to time, so everybody can see what you're putting together. I have to tell you, it's fantastic. Of course, we also have Monkey Jeebus becoming a member here of the channel, looking like a pretty angry little raccoon there. I think that's Rocket Raccoon, holding a lightsaber. Is that possible? Anyway. That's very cool. But thanks for being here, Monkey Jeebus. I appreciate your support. We had a super chat that came in before the stream started. It wasn't available on my side of things, on the chat side. Unfortunately, it was from our good friend Thomas Gilkey, who actually challenges my assertion about celebrate what when it comes to Star Wars. And the Gilk man responds with a nice large super chat. Thank you, my friend. 1999 says, I think there are things to celebrate. He says, John Williams came out and got to be honored by fans, which was a beautiful thing. Hayden came out and got to be honored by fans. Well, that's a cool thing, too. I think there are still some good stuff in Disney Star Wars. I'm the odd man out. I don't know. There was some interesting conversation about that over on Sporkin's channel last night. And thanks again for that, Thomas. I wish I could bring it up on screen. But it's one of those really strange. It's one of those really strange things to me that people are still out there talking Disney Star Wars. I don't watch it. I can't give you my full opinion on something because I don't watch it. And that says a lot because Star Wars was the most cinematically influential movie in my life. It was the first major cinematic memory for me. It's the film I can remember going to see and everything that happened going around it. My ability to go see that film. I don't know, AFK.
I definitely agree that like kind of like John Williams. If like you ever had somebody like that, pop out somewhere, I would celebrate their music for sure. So I say in that respect, I could see celebrating that because he has a great long life of it, and he really did bring life to the movies that we did and do love still.
More than just Star Wars, so absolutely.
But I everything else, it's really a struggle. I think I would say if you want to celebrate it, celebrate the things you enjoy, and you don't have to look at all of the stuff that you don't like on that day.
Right.
It's kind of like you have a Mother's Day. You don't have to celebrate every day here. I know I'm a horrible person, but hey, whatever.
What do you think?
What else has got some good John Williams music?
There you go. Little
nice.
Encounters. Yeah, man, look at that collector's edition. Nice. I have to say that, John Williams did lots of great soundtracks. He gave us lots of incredible music, and a lot of it through Lucasfilm. I mean, again, George and Spielberg, Lucas and Spielberg both brought us John Williams stuff, which is really, really cool. There is some things to celebrate, but they're older things, I think. Mock, any thoughts?
Listen, I got to put this disclaimer. We're not here to yuck your yum, as Culture says. That's not what we're here for. That's not our purpose. Okay? We're not here to rain on anybody's parade.
Yep.
But from my personal perspective, there are always things to celebrate in regards to Star Wars. Always will be.
Wow. I love
However, I am in that same pulse of culture that I have not seen anything Star Wars related since The Last Jedi, because that's how much it broke me.
Wow.
And it really did. And I've been steadfast for the past 5 years straight to not watch anything else.
That's amazing. That is truly, truly amazing.
I can't say I only listen to you guys. I only get it from you guys and just from what my knowledge is of the old OT, PT, and even a bit of the EU.
Fair enough.
But it's very important that we always speak friend to enter, as Loki says. Always respect each other. We're not gonna agree on everything. And there are people within the fellowship. There are plenty of people within other groups and within our own circles who adore everything that Disney Star Wars has done. So always keep that in mind. And may the force be with us.
Facts.
No matter what.
Indeed. Let's say hi to everybody, because we haven't done that yet, and we just had a group of folks join us. So we've got Dr. Dragon out there hanging out with us. Good to see you, my friend. Trav 101 checking in from across the pond. Great to see you. Six is promoting this evening's stream in 9 hours. Thank you for that, Six. Yeah, pushed it forward a half an hour so that I can actually get a little bit of extra sleep going into a week that's going to be big. As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, the new channel launches on Wednesday, June 1st, which is my DIY channel, and everything will be made public that day. I'm pretty excited. I'm working on the first 2 videos that'll premiere over there, so hopefully that will go well, so that we can get into even more of my hobbies, because I've decided I will monetize the things I like to do. That's what I'm going to do, and hopefully everybody will enjoy those things. We've got Shrap 3D out there. Top Gun definitely did kick some booty, and we will get to that, my friend. We've got Eric K out there. Great. Good to see you. Definitely smash that like, folks, if you haven't already. I do appreciate that. Does bring some engagement, and that's important. We've got Keely Chow. Roll Tide, my friend. Roll Tide. Let's see who else is here. We've got Dark Winter. Okay, this should be good. Well, I hope so. I hope we can entertain and delight and other things, and perhaps inspire conversation and thoughtful discourse. We've got Tina out there. Good to see you, Tina Bojan. And of course, D Bud Martin is here. Good to see you. Happy Sunday indeed. This is a weird Sunday. For whatever reason, when you get into a holiday weekend, and for those of you out there, happy Memorial Day tomorrow. But you have a lot of folks that that go out and do things on holiday weekends, and I feel like maybe Top Gun benefited from that. But we have an extra special guest today, someone that I didn't anticipate being here, and I do appreciate dropping in. This is our good friend Comic Chad. Good to see you, brother. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I love the Flash shirt. I'm digging it.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, represent.
That's right.
Yep. I'm trying to go to a Hot Topic later on when I get over here and get me an Obi-Wan shirt.
Oh, all right. Yeah, and I have a question. So I'm glad you showed up. We're just saying hi to everybody in the chat, like Small Time and sure. Many others. But you've obviously probably, and I because I know that you still are very up on a lot of these pieces of material that Disney's releasing. Mm-hmm. What did you think? Have you seen the new show, the new Kenobi show?
I've watched both episodes. Mm-hmm. Initially, I was like, they are retconning Rebels. But then I went back and saw it, and I kind of looked at it through a different lens. Mm-hmm. And I'm liking it so far. I'm liking it.
All right.
Initially, I was like, man, they just castrating Obi-Wan,
Right.
made him look weak. But then, and I did a video earlier this morning, we can look at it from this. How about if all of us, we lost our whole world in a snap? Order 66 goes, we lost our best friend, the guy that we raised from childhood to a man we fought against for our life. He betrayed us, became the very thing we were fighting against, lost all of that. Only person he knows that's survived as another Jedi is Yoda, and they go to the farthest reaches to protect his best friend's children. So that's a big mind fuck. Now, I hate to use crass words, but nobody's been through that. So he has a right to feel sorry and down on himself. And I think that's the lens they're shooting it through. So that's how I'm looking at it.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
The best way to look at it.
I have to say it this way, Danny. If you have that same perspective at the end of the run after 4 more episodes, I want to hear from you. Because I think I'm glad that you were able to look at it through a completely different lens. I'm just curious if that'll be your same opinion at come the end of the show.
Well, yeah. I know that Disney Star Wars is not George Lucas Star Wars. As much as I hate to let George Lucas Star Wars go, I have let it go because I keep saying this. I'm sure you heard me say this before. When you pay $4 billion for something, I think you can do what the hell you want with it, whether it offends some people or not. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Do I agree with Disney Star Wars and some of the directions they're going? I do not. But at the same token, we can't expect something to be the same if you got somebody that's totally different. You can't expect the car to be driven the same way if you got a totally different driver.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I hear that. I absolutely do. Wow. All right. Well, I can't wait to hear when the final episode drops what your thoughts are, because I think that may give you a different perspective as well.
I think I'm gonna still like it because I think I'm the only man on the planet that like Boba Fett.
Here, I don't know how to answer that. I have heard people.
I'm the only one of my kind.
I have heard people say some positive things about the most recent Star Wars entry prior to this.
Well, it's kind of like a unicorn, I think. When you find somebody who likes Boba Fett, I think it's extra special.
I'm the ebony unicorn. I'll take
Heck
that.
Yeah, you're awesome, man. Represent. Good job.
Well, we got a few more folks we'll say hi to, so we can jump right in. Sorry, I thought it was on Scott's show all of a sudden. Jump right into talking about things to celebrate. We got OC Dobbins out there. We got Critisable, the Rainbow Knight, of course. We've got our friend Low Spec Linux Laptop. Sultan Al Fahim is here. Good to see you. We've got Critisable, the Rainbow Knight HVPs out there. Good to see you. Let's see. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow is joining us today. We've got Solar Warden out there saying Danger Zone. Indeed. Hopefully we get a chance to visit a little bit about Maverick. For those of you who've seen it, we'll talk about it. Let's see. We got a few other folks rolling in here. We got Hunch the Dirty Roofer. Good to see you, my friend. The only thing keeping Top Gun Maverick from being a pure masterpiece, no danger zone during the final dogfight. Well, I thought it was pretty well done, and I liked the soundtrack at that point in time. But we're going to try and keep it relatively spoiler free, folks. So if you didn't know Top Gun was going to have a dogfight in it, then I can't help you. I can't. We got Benzo here. Good to see you, brother. Been a minute. Let's see.
I'm curious to see what it's going to make his first weekend.
Yeah, I think it's going to do quite well. Yeah, it's already a record for Tom Cruise specifically, and it's got big, crushing box office worldwide, $200+ million. So it's doing very, very well.
I am shocked.
Yeah, I'm not. I thought this movie would be huge, and a lot of people didn't. But
is it huge because it's good? Or is it huge because it's nostalgia?
I think it's huge because it's good, Danny, because again, for as much as Tom Cruise carries the film, everybody that's in that cast is very good at what they do. There was a lot to what was done. Even John Hamm, believe it or not, a lot of people weren't very high on him being in the film, and he did a great job. You really do.
I think there was also a group of people that weren't anticipated, like, because people always are like, oh, well, there's Tom Cruise fans, they'll come out, but there's the people who saw the original that never had a thought in their head, but they saw that there's this new one, and they were literally just Top Gun Tom Cruise fans, like their own bubble. And I think there's a lot of them, because like everybody I know who's my mom's age, I was like, hey, are you gonna go see the Top Gun movie? And they're like, oh my God, yes, I'm so excited. Oh, Top Gun, Top Gun. And I'm like, this person never talks about it, on another daily basis. So I think that that's going to give it a huge boost too. It's just like the moms and single ladies out there of that one specific decade alone.
I think it'll get them in the seat for the first time. I don't know about repeat
viewings.
Right. Right. I think the first weekend and second weekend maybe, but as far as like just the people getting there, I can't say. Like, I would think that it would last very long, though.
I didn't hate it, but I was underwhelmed.
Oh, they didn't take you to the danger zone?
No, it did not. So, the one scene with him and Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, awesome! Wanted to cry.
Yeah, and Shellback's showing us Tom Cruise back in the day. That's awesome.
Go watch my movie.
Yeah. I watched Hot Shots before I saw Top Gun, and I liked Hot Shots more. So there you go.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't. These terms have been thrown around, right? Some, there's a YouTuber out there that kind of threw this out there, and Lofty had a terrible take on the film, as usual. I have to tell you that I am a fan of I am a fan of good filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this was an example of it. I think that we haven't had good filmmaking in a long time. I think we haven't had escapism in a very long time.
Really?
Say again?
I said, really?
Yeah, well, what point me towards something.
Every time I go to a movie, I'm escaping from my reality.
Oh, okay. Yeah, again, for me, it seems like and again, I mean, you may have a different perspective. I mean, clearly, but I think that when I go to a movie and and they bring in all the current day stuff, the modernity garbage, right? When they bring that in, that's not an escape any longer. You've now brought the real world. You've now brought outside stuff into something that is supposed to allow me to get away from things.
Yeah. I think if you go into a movie expecting to find wokeism or agenda, that you're already starting off behind the 8 ball already, because you go in there looking for something. I don't go in there looking for none of that stuff. I go in there, hey, it's MCU movie. I want to see Doctor Strange. I want to see whoever. Thor. I'm ready for Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm not saying it's going to be good, but I'm not trying to. I don't care because Jane got the hammer now. I just don't care. I want to see what the story is. Then I will make my nitpicks and my decisions and my reviews on it. But I don't go in there. They're about to make the man look like a wimp. I didn't go into Obi-Wan looking like that. I just went in there. It's Star Wars. I'm excited to see about it. What story they're going to tell? Are there holes in the story? Most definitely. Are there holes in a lot of stories that we're seeing now? Yeah. I agree with you 1,000%. But it's not going to make me like, oh, they did it again. I just don't think like that.
Okay, so going into the film, I was anticipating that it was very possible, based on some of the reporting, that the film could have some themes in it that would bother me. But I didn't, and I try to go into everything with as an open a mind and a clean a slate as I possibly can, even if I already have seen clips, I've read the script, the whole 9 yards, because as has been pointed out to me, and I agree with fully, when you even reading from a script, not everything that's in the script is going to make it into the film. Not the way it's presented is going to make it into the film that way. Things can be cut and put in different places, which changes the tone of scenes and the whole 9 yards. So even with all of that, right, even having any of those things that I've been exposed to, when I look at it, I feel like if I can enter the film without any expectations beyond, just the things I've been exposed to, I can give it a fair shake. With Top Gun, I had been exposed to some things that seemed like they were going to be quite negative. And yet, exiting that film, I agree with the ComScore rating there of an A+. I really do. I think it was probably one of the best films that you could ever possibly have hoped for in today's cinema, because I don't think anybody can point to something that's more of an escapist moment than that, than being able to slide comfortably into a character that has not changed at all, that is portrayed honorably and well in the same way that you remember them. And that's what, Pete is, that's what Maverick is. Yeah. He steps into the same shoes that he left before. That's substantial. That's substantial. We have another very special guest. My friend Jace is joining us today. How are you, my friend?
Hello, everybody. Hey.
Yeah. This reminds you of a repackaged version of Heartbreak Ridge.
You think so?
Because basically Maverick is about to be drummed out the Navy because no one likes him, and they say that he's outlived his usefulness pretty much. Same thing with Clint Eastwood as Gunny Highway. His last stop was recon, and only thing really was saving him from getting booted out was his sergeant major. So ICE was the only thing saving him pretty much. And then when he proved himself and showed that, okay, I can do this, I am useful, I can save the day, and that's when...
By the way, spoilers, apparently, everyone.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, man. It's all right, my man.
I'm sorry.
No. But no, you're right. I understand that perspective and where you're coming from there. When I looked at it, when I look at the film, right, I can see what you're saying there. But at the same time,
that's what I thought when I started. I said, man, this Heartbreak Ridge.
To me, it was just the circle repeating itself from the first film, because I saw the same. He has the same problems. He just continued having them. He does, and that's the nature of this film. And for those of you out there that are getting some spoilers,
I apologize.
No, it's all right. I'm sure everybody will forgive you, Danny. But I have to say that I really saw the film for what it was. It was nostalgia done properly, because they drew from it and they put what a modern circumstance or situation was in there without entering into the political side, identity politics side, or any of the other stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this week. So
Jace, you will love it. You will indeed, brother. And thanks for
just
today.
Yeah, I just rewatched it. So the first one.
Shellback, say again.
I said I plan on seeing it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because I like to save pennies where I can, and Tuesday is bargain day at my local theater.
Nice.
So, but having only seen trailers and like my only criticism so far from all the stuff that I've seen is the fact that they removed the Taiwan flag from his jacket because they want that China box office money.
Yeah.
Seriously? I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, they did. And the thing is, it's actually not getting a Chinese release.
Jeez, that's so tacky.
But like what I'm curious about though is
China.
Like, are they going to explain? Are they going to explain what happened to him and Charlie? Why they're not together? Because I'm pretty sure that Jennifer Connelly, I'm pretty sure her character is Penny Benjamin.
That's right.
The Admiral's daughter that was mentioned in the original film.
Yep, you are correct.
And Miles Teller is supposed to be Goose's son.
That is also correct.
So that's aspect of it that I'm curious about as well.
You are going to enjoy how all these characters interact. What the how you immediately come to understand everything, that the interpersonal relationships and all of that. And again, there are only a handful of films. There's been 57 movies since 2000 that have scored an A+ cinema score from ComScore.
Yeah,
that's it. 57. This is one of them
in 21 years.
Yeah,
I'm really goddamn excited for it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and it is an elevated film to the point of giving you everything that you need. The film cost $150 million to make.
You didn't expect more, Culture?
Say again?
You didn't expect more
from
this movie?
No, actually, I got a little more than I anticipated, which I think was the extra 26 minutes that you get at the end of the film. I will not spoil it for anybody. I will not. But the ending is well worth your time. There are no mid-credit scenes. There are no post-credit scenes.
So it's a proper ending, proper ending.
Yeah, and it's
it's an improper ending, because that's what I want to see now when I go to movies.
Well, like I said, I don't know. I mean, what would my expectations would have? I didn't expect any more than I got going into the film. And again, that's one of the things I believe is a blessing for me, is I can walk into it with a blank slate. Even though I can know everything about a film, I can know the background. I can know I can know what the actors said. I can know what the anti-marketing campaign is. So I know that's hard for some people, but for me, walking into a theater, I can turn the brain off of all that other stuff and quiet that noise and try to give the film the opportunity to entertain me.
So you can actually go out with a smile on your face after this movie.
You will.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a long time since I've done
you actually will. And here's the interesting thing is Zach's is, this is a perspective I've heard a lot of. And again, I like hearing the opposite side. Like, well, I don't think it was a good film. Good. I mean, let's talk about why. But from Zach says, I love Top Gun Maverick unabashedly. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I just thought the love story part of it was a little...
Yeah,
slow and disjointed at times.
Yeah, I think some of the scenes were originally placed elsewhere. You know what I mean, Danny? Like maybe they
seem out of sequence or something. That don't kind of flow right.
Yeah, I think originally there's probably an edit out there where they were placed in different places, and I think somebody was trying to make sure that there was enough action to keep the male audience engaged.
She looks very good in this movie. That's
Jennifer Connelly's gorgeous
in a long time.
Yeah, and this is the best question from Dr. Dragon. I don't think China ever cared about Hollywood. I'm about to get in a lot of trouble. China will learn from your industry. They'll take everything that you do well, learn from it, rip away what they can, repurpose it for their own, and discard whatever you are. They have a history of doing that. They've been doing it for over 100 years now. And that's why they outright used to steal intellectual property.
You are so correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, Disney fell for it. To consider that, they went in there knowing full well that Hong Kong would eventually be turned back to China. I still think that was a mistake by our good friends in the UK. But they would hand it back, and they did. And they had a park there, and there were promises made to Uncle Bob Iger, and he built a second park in Shanghai. And I can tell you that Disney will eventually pay for that. They will.
I'm glad we learned to do things by ourselves and not needing their help. You see firsthand, we depend on these doggone chips for these cars. That's pissing me off. You can't get. So I'm glad that we getting this punch in the mouth, so we can get back on our own 2 feet. We've been relying too heavily on that particular country for stuff. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any perspective? Because I know I dominated the conversation there.
I would like for Top Gun to be like the second Joker, where Joker was able to score $1 billion without China's aid.
Yeah.
However,
I don't think it's gonna do it.
That's long past gone. At the age of the $1 billion franchise is probably not going to come by, at least not in this timeline. I think we're way past that point.
Doctor Strange ain't too far from it. I don't think it'll make it.
It's not. Spider-Man was probably the closest. In my opinion, No Way Home is probably the closest to the next $1 billion. But yeah, you're not wrong on that. So it's just I think
Avatar 2 is going to do it.
Avatar 2 definitely has the potential to do it.
Yep.
It will. But can I ask if their only gimmick in this next film for Avatar 2, the dances with wolves underwater, whatever this is. But let me ask this question: Is 3D going to be the thing that pulls everybody in? Because 3D kind of as a fad fell away, right?
It can't do it. Like that's just not going to sell it.
They can't make light. They can't strike lightning twice in a bottle. They can't catch lightning.
No.
Oh, Thomas, geez, thanks for the second super chat, my friend. I'm going to tell you right now, brother. I'll read this and then I'll respond because with my super chat that I sent earlier, I wasn't meaning to offend anyone. You offended nobody, brother, and I hope you're
not at all.
I really do. I've been worried about you since I heard you had the COVID thing. I was challenging. No, indeed. I apologize if it came off aggressive. It didn't. It was perfectly done. It was wonderful to talk about. For Maverick discussion, please let me know if you're going to go into any spoilers. We are trying to stay away from them, my friend.
Spoiler free.
I mean, there's a lot out there already. Stay away from social media. But I can tell you, look,
I'm trying.
Yeah, I can tell you that this film is this kind of money for a reason. It's not a superhero film. I actually think you saw every dollar of this film on the screen for a change. And again, I mean, I'm going to bring it up a third time. This has an A+ cinema score. There have been 57 films total since 2000 with an A+ cinema score. That is rare. 21 years.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, go. Please go on. I'm here all the time.
When Avatar first came out, it was just regular 3D. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never been to IMAX. I'm too cheap. But now it's IMAX in addition to 3D. So won't that appeal to some people?
Sure. Go ahead, Matt.
They can't sell it as a gimmick though anymore because we're already exposed to IMAX and 3D, especially through the early to mid 2010s. A lot of stuff was advertised as in IMAX and in 3D after Avatar. I don't think we're going to be able to. I don't think that they can fall on that same gimmick to bring in seats anymore. So they need to have
a good story. I think is what the problem is because they tricked everybody to see it the first time. Because sure, obviously it was awesome work they put into and it looks super cool. But at the end of the day, that's what they were bringing people in. They're like, look at the flashy thing. And then it was just like Pocahontas or Fern Gully or any of those stories where it's just like, oh, the forest, humans bad. And so now I'm like, I want to know now what the heck your next one's going to be. Because if that was just, looking cool, I mean, I could just watch something at home that's way cooler and better and cheap.
But also, it stayed in theaters.
Yeah, I can get that.
It stayed in almost a year, didn't it? The first theatrical run.
I think it had it ran for a year. I think you're. I think you're exactly right.
See, it's only gonna run what maybe 2 months.
Maybe
at the most.
Yeah, go longer. It depends. Yeah. It really does depend.
I think we're going to start seeing a return to 90-day windows as like for the mega tentpoles. But I think you're right. I think 45 days. I think we may be stuck with that for most films. I think you're right. But at the same time, I mean, they extended the run for Joker. They extended the run. Obviously, they extended the run for the last Star Wars film because they were really desperate.
They were so desperate with that one.
They re-released Avatar to try to overtake Endgame again. So
exactly. And again, I mean, that's also a brilliant marketing ploy on their behalf, because it gets people reintroduced to something that they're about to be, presented once more.
Yeah.
Shrap, to answer this question, yes, somebody on the panel, and I believe it was Tom last night when we were talking, did indicate, and a couple other people, I believe, did indicate that the patches were still on the jacket in the Maverick film, that people were concerned had been removed.
Oh, okay. Good.
So,
okay, that's good.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, but when it comes to the last Star Wars movie, where I normally used to live in Norway, the movie didn't go for long because it did so poorly.
Wow, that's
the
insane.
Last Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I mean, Rugo Betta says the first Avatar film was forgettable, not a bad movie, just not original. And I think a lot of people came around to that way of thinking.
Oh yeah,
I think
I was different in the camp in that I didn't think it wasn't bad. It was just overrated.
It was
Ferngully was better. Watch Ferngully.
It was overhyped. It was overrated.
Predictable story, predictable, overhyped, and I never cared for it so much. It just looked beautiful.
Cameron spent nearly a decade and a half
on these next 3 films.
Yeah. Making the next 3 films were just just not. You're not going to catch lightning in a bottle again. There's just no way.
Hollywood Reporter, I was going to do a story on this, but I'm not now. There's too many other stories out there this week to cover. But Hollywood Reporter did an article talking about Avatar and 3D and its appeal and everything. And I thought it was pretty well written for a change. Of course, Hollywood Reporter's been doing some pretty good work lately, but it's if that's your hook, I just don't know how you're going to bring people in. I mean, living the experience of like flying on a Banshee, right? You can do that at Disney World, right? You can go to the Avatar thing, go on Flight of Passage, or ride on one of these things, and that's impressive in and of itself. It's a 3D experience. It's actually 4D because you're moving around in 3-dimensional space. And you have water being splashed on you and sense, and all that. Well, you're starting to see theaters do the same thing. You have 4DX theaters now that give you sense and give you water splashed to you and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's the only way that you could make this film the next level. And I don't think 3D's. I don't think 3D is going to be the hook that they need.
No, I hate 3D. I hate it.
I'm going to have to disagree.
Okay.
Because I think it's in the sense that at some point the gimmicks have to be the gimmicks. They're going to run out of gimmicks to try to get butts and seats, and then they have to come to realize, just make it good.
Yeah,
that's
make a good movie.
They realize that making it good is going to really, you're going to get you're going to get a bigger ROI if you're able to focus on the quality of the story, characters, and everything in it. Because what I saw with the first Avatar film is that it was all style, but very little substance.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Matt.
Having both, having that on top of it, and focus on making something that's actually good. It's going to increase those budget seats. It's going to increase return investment. It's going to increase.
Well, and this super chat from Glinzer speaks to that, I think, saying that with Maverick's success, right, we're going to see legacy sequels. That'll be the next big wave in Hollywood, because if they find a successful trend, they all jump on it like lemmings.
Well, I'm still arguing that it's either going to be. Well, I agree with that. It's going to be legacy sequels, but I'm wondering if Danny probably notices this recently, is that it definitely feels like superheroes are going to be out the door in a bit, and the next trend they're going to ride onto is video game adaptations.
Except that they haven't really done what they
haven't done anything well. With
when it comes to a lot of gaming live action movies, for example, or anime to movies, they have not done well at all. They have been poorly received all the time. With
a few exceptions, such as Arcane, as Arcane on Netflix and such like that. But
let's
that's
get
more animation and stuff.
It is more animation, but the thing is with Arcane was that it was made by the people who actually were invested, who actually created the whole Legends IP.
Yeah, that's a good show too.
it gets plenty of hype and for good reason. But in order to service the rest of this, Beetlejuice, Roger Rabbit, and Beverly Hills Cop sequels are already planned, and yeah, they are. Beetlejuice will probably be good. Keaton is brilliant.
So it's not going to star Lori Lightfoot.
Roger Rabbit will be different because you no longer have the actor that played Eddie in the original film.
Yeah, that's true.
And you also don't have half of the cast in the film.
Question.
Well, to be fair, the closest thing we've had to an actual modern version of Roger Rabbit would actually be the Chip and Dale film.
Oh man, and I've heard some horror stories.
I've heard some absolute horror stories.
Yeah.
So you can pray it doesn't go that direction.
That movie is a hit or miss for people. Like I say, either you like it or you hate it.
Yeah.
I feel like for Roger Rabbit, that's possible just because the show, I mean, like Roger is the main character if you think about it. And so like if they go with the whole meta thing, it'll probably be a modern day with the same characters maybe existing now, which would be kind of cool. But my only thing is animated characters, will the voices be the same? If Roger has a different voice, I'm out.
All of them have different voices basically.
Right. Oh, okay, then I'm outie.
And they are really focusing on member berries of a lot of different characters in this movie. That's everything from South Park to Kingdom Hearts to
Ugly Sonic.
Yeah, they did Ugly Sonic. That's the only thing I thought was funny, but everything else was just like, right,
If Jessica Rabbit isn't drawn that way,
no,
they've already changed her characterization in the parks. Hunch, dude, you are welcome. You are welcome to throw out your spicy takes. As long as it doesn't go too far, the mods get it. I don't care. You guys, if you have you can disagree, just don't fight. Right. And you can have different opinions, just don't attack anybody. That's the important thing. Boosh, I think you're right. I think 3D has always been a barely acceptable experience. And I think
in the worst.
Yeah, the novelty of it all is, and I know this. Danny and I are older. Danny, you lived in a time where you and I would go to the Circle K or the 7-Eleven, and we would get our Slurpees so we could get our red and blue lens paper glasses, so that we could watch the black and white TV thing that was 3D.
Yep,
you remember that?
The first one was the Creature of the Black Lagoon. I remember that in 3D.
Yeah, and that was my introduction to 3D way back in the day, right? And it was a novelty, and they could get people to watch television, and they could get kids engaged with something they normally wouldn't be engaged in, and it was interesting. But 3D's always been a novelty. I think it's never gotten past that.
My first bad.
Me too. What do you watch?
My kids watch whatever 3D movie come out on. I don't even watch it now.
I remember
my first bad experience was when my aunt took me to see the 2010 remake of Clash of the Titans, and the 3D was terrible because it felt like the 3D was like everything felt like it was filmed backwards, so everything in the background pushed more to the foreground, and everything that was in the foreground and focus was so blurred out.
I think that was the movie though, because that movie, as good as it is, the story, the special effects was crappy, and some of the acting was like, oh my god. I think it was more than a movie. Cause, let me give you an example. I lived in California for a few years, and I went to Disneyland, and I saw Captain EO, and it was the most incredible 3D I've ever seen in my life.
That's true.
Of course, that's Disney money, and that's Michael Jackson behind it.
Yeah,
but it was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
They do Avatar 2 like that.
Yeah,
I'm all in.
Well, and again, I mean, that experience. Consider how long that ran for. How many decades we had Captain EO in the Disney theme parks. I mean, it was that impressive for a lot of folks.
Captain EO is amazing. I love it, man.
Yeah, and
I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, so I even have a tattoo of Michael Jackson's bad of his cover. Awesome. I have it on my arm here. And George Lucas helped. He was on board and making Captain EO and all that too.
Yeah, I think that the Casio keyboard show in the preview that we've now seen, I think they are ripping off Bad at the beginning of that. That's just my opinion. Anyway, Talty Texas C sends us a super sticker for 99 cents. Thank you for that, my friend. And of course, our one of our sponsors of the channel, it's Blue Eyed Roof Curry in the Base for $2, says, how does Roger Rabbit survive Hollywood copyright wars? Roger Rabbit's technically a Disney character. There was an agreement in place between Warner Brothers and Disney back when the film originally got pulled together, and that was because of the efforts of the people involved in it. Tom can tell you the story exactly, but they no longer have the same kind of agreement for this next film, at least to my understanding. So I don't anticipate that it'll be I don't think it'll be the same.
I think the same can be said for Chip and Dale, because you see Ugly Sonic, you see other different properties such as My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and just other properties. I think is just like they have to make these agreements ahead of time to be able to implement those characters from other different properties into the film. And I do think that with the Roger Rabbit, they might be able to do it again, or they may have a tougher hill to climb. It just depends on who's willing to play ball to be able to let the property show up.
That could get pretty messy. Like, a lot of people don't know of it, but there's like the Muppet Christmas movie that exists, and it's kind of in copyright purgatory, or was for many decades. It was because it was Sesame Street, the Muppets, Fraggle Rock, and I feel like I'm forgetting one other, but there were too many, at war IP holders.
Right.
Yeah. So
it is, and you look at it not only on the movie side, but you also look at it in the game side. Like, think about what hoops Epic may have had to go through to get so many different characters from so many different properties into Fortnite or into something like
Daily also had Batman.
They're using Batman. Yeah, but they're using that for companion advertising purposes.
Yeah,
that's a certain allowance that they're giving them. But I just, it's weird because consider this: Disney did something they'd never done before outside of of course they're doing it all the time now. But they let somebody use their characters in their video game. Do you remember the very first Kingdom Hearts game was the first time that they allowed somebody else to portray their characters?
Right, using both Disney and Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah, it was fascinating. A lot of people have difficulty with 3D. Danny, did you want to say something, my friend?
No, I'll just listen.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Steven Ransom says something really important, and then we'll jump right on it, Shellback. He says Mel Blanc's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Hey.
Yeah. And he says, great appearance on Snowdug Live. I had a lot of fun last night. It was a good time over there. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead there, Shelly.
No. I just want to know what you guys think, because I saw the Chip and Dale trailer, and it's like one of them is like kind of like cartoonish, like Roger Rabbit was, and then the other one is more like a weird 3D animation or whatever. And
you have to see the movie too.
Why are they different?
He took a surgery thing.
Yeah, you'll have to watch the film. It's supposedly explained within its content.
There's some surgery stuff because it's kind of like the modern life. You can change your appearance and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of why he did it.
Yeah, it's an analogy for something. Anyway, but anyway, I won't go into that.
I forgot about this, but another good example is Ready Player One.
Well, that was terrible.
Actually have characters. Well, yeah, but it had characters from different properties.
That's true. Again, sometimes there's a benefit to letting somebody use your IP for a one-off under controlled circumstances. But Turo says, I once airbrushed a mural of Jessica Rabbit on a car hood with the weasels carrying Tommy guns and their Model T lowered. It was perfect,
dude.
And it was
George Lucas should have done.
That sucks.
That's awesome.
I think Joker Voice sends us a super chat I got to get to real quick. Says, you don't need Charles Fleischer to voice Roger Rabbit. The Disney Roger Rabbit rides are not voiced by him. They are voiced by my voiceover mentor, Jess Harnell. That is actually true.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but like you could tell the difference. I'm sorry, I'm a voice actor purist, and there is a distinct difference. I'm sure that guy's really good, but unless it's the actual guy.
I'm sorry. There's some characters that have the exception to the rule, and I'll give you this one. Like the original guy that did Megatron. I don't know who he was. The first Megatron that we saw.
Let me look him up.
He was awesome, but Hugo Weaving did Megatron in the live action, and he was awesome. So there are some exceptions to the rule.
Are you thinking of Frank Welker?
That might was him.
Okay.
That first Megatron was fantastic. But then when I heard Hugo Weaving, I was like, damn, he killing it too. So
yeah, Hugo Weaving's awesome. Apparently Eric K dated a girl that used to play Chip at Disneyland. Yes.
Really?
Cool. Nice. I'm excited about that. There are a lot of that non-face characters, or obviously the wearing the suits that are female and not male as they're supposed to be. It's just because of the size usually. So, but that's it.
I try to get a really light voice too. It kind of works.
Right, and it's a long history long history of women voicing male characters in all properties, everywhere.
I think there's a female voice that does Goku in Dragon Ball. I'm not Goku, but Gohan.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Goku in Japanese was a girl.
It was.
I know
a lot of anime are girls who are the guys. It's kind of funny.
Think about The Simpsons, right? And the voices there. Right?
If you watch Boondocks, Regina King did both Huey and what's the other guy?
Right.
Wow.
Really?
Yep. Regina King voiced both of those. That is true.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Judah Khan, good to see you, brother. Let's see. Look, I want to get back to the Star Wars thing because ultimately, I mean, we got here where we are now, which is
I have seen Kenobi. If everybody wonders, I have seen it.
Maverick. Oh, really?
Yes, of course I did.
Did you hear Danny's take? Because you guys might be at odds.
I asked Jace, just please let's save don't. If you're gonna rage at it, don't rage.
No, I will actually say something I've never said in my life. I am one of the biggest Disney Star Wars haters out there, and we all know that how much I hate it.
Yeah.
But this series, I don't hate it. It's the first series, the first thing Disney's ever done that I don't hate of Star Wars in my life. It has a lot of fucking issues, but I do like a lot of the aspects in it. It has a lot of potential and a lot of stupid things that should not have been there. But
Chase, I don't know you, but I'm proud of you. That's the first step to healing.
Jeez.
No, but
there you go.
I am because I am normally I am an expanded universe purist. I will always admit that, but I do understand why Obi-Wan is like this in the show. I think it works for this story when you do think about it. Some of the choices was a little weird. That he cuts himself off the Force, and it's like, Luke needs to be trained. And then you have the Inquisitioners. That was just that woman. She's annoying. A lot of stupid choices with her, and how she knows about Vader's identity, and all that kind of stuff. Can I say something about that? Yeah, sure, man. Go ahead.
Okay, this is I've heard a lot of people say that her acting is really bad. Is that the general consensus on this panel?
I haven't seen it,
so I don't.
Her acting is not the greatest. I can survive it. I can survive it.
I'm going to say this, and I don't want to sound racist. I hate pulling a race card, but wouldn't you be nervous because you're the first Black female in this IP that's a lead actor? Could you say that's a lot of pressure? And maybe she's kind of nervous.
Shouldn't matter.
That's a lot of pressure.
I see where you're coming from.
Because she's only been acting. I looked this up since 2018. That ain't a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people forget that sometimes it falls down to the directing as well.
Exactly.
So like you could be a really good
Directing, the
actor and be
writing,
told to
and all
do
that
shit.
kind of
Character in the
stuff.
script and
Yeah.
such. Like in the
That's a
worst
lot of
cases,
pressure. That's a lot of
exactly.
It should not
exactly.
matter, though, Danny. It should
Well,
not matter.
It should matter. The first time
No,
you had sex,
no.
the first time you had sex, were you good? No.
Probably
It took you a
not.
while.
No.
Okay, this is our first time being on in a stage this big. A black female. Well, I guess you can say female, but she's a black female. But a black actress, lead role. That's a lot of pressure, and especially you're not a seasoned actress, so she might be nervous. I'm just saying that's possible. I ain't saying that's it, but it's possible.
Right, and for what I'm hearing, it's not like a Javicia Leslie situation in Batwoman, so it's at least
for
better.
me, it's always gonna.
Batwoman is a way step down from Star Wars.
But Danny, to that end, so what you're saying, what you just argued, is that she wasn't qualified for the gig.
I'm just saying that I guess she went there and she got the job, but just because you get the job doesn't automatically mean that you qualify for it. She might know somebody. She might was a part of an agenda, if you're going to believe that. I don't know what the case is. All I'm saying is it's possible. I'm just saying that it's not certain, but is it possible she could be kind of crumbling a little bit under the pressure as it relates to her acting? Because she's only been doing this since 2018. I looked up before I came on this show. That's not a lot of time to be an actor. Going up against some of the other stuff, and then you on Star Wars. That's a big stage.
The way I look at it is that it is the directors, the writers, and they are the people that are doing all of this. And for me, it doesn't matter what color characters are. For me, what matters for me is that it's a good written, good character. Her acting is decent. It's not perfect. A lot of people in the show has not the best acting. A lot of movies have characters that have not always the best acting. I just watched, the whole Stranger Things season 4. A lot of those actors are not the best. It's not the best acting skills there because the writers have kind of fucked it up, in my opinion. But that's how I look at stuff. That it all depends on directors, writers.
And I refuse to speak specifically to her acting, Danny, because I haven't observed it. I have not watched, nor will I watch the show. I mean, that's just where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
I
that's
will
one of the
say
things
this.
I heard, Culture. I mean,
I believe you. I believe you heard that. I believe that that's the case. And if she's only been acting since 2018, see, this is why it's really good to have a track record going into any given role. And this is the problem now. And you said exactly what I was thinking, which we don't know why she got the role. The problem is that when you abandon the idea of merit in anything, it doesn't matter if it's acting or whatever else. Most actors have worked their way through the system. Do you know who else is set up for failure? And I feel very bad for her. The girl that's playing Miss Marvel. She is set up for failure. She's never acted before.
Yeah. I feel really bad about her.
She got the job because of her wild support of this character in, I believe, in essay form. And I'm like, I'm again, this is deeply concerning to me. First of all, I think it removes the value of seasoned actors, people who are more than qualified. It's the same problem for me every time I look at something like that. So, but I can appreciate where you're coming from, and I like that honesty that, we don't know why she was hired.
The thing is, Culture, Danny, Danny, your take on her, and being like the first black woman in a major role, or and that her being nervous and her acting suffering or whatever, because that would be like saying that freaking Billy D. Williams should have sucked in Empire Strikes Back.
No, he was a seasoned actor way before that.
No, it don't matter.
Yes,
he was like the the black person in that movie, in the franchise, or whatever, in the major role, as you say.
I kind of agree with
seeing him, having that on his shoulders, it's no. I'm sorry, but
that's a little bit different, though.
You didn't listen to my argument show back. I said seasoned. Billy D. Williams was seasoned before he went on Star Wars. I'm saying this lady is not seasoned, and she's the first female black lead actress in Star Wars.
Anybody that's not black and not seasoned, they don't have that excuse.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying in this particular argument.
That's the way it's coming across.
Okay, so
that's where you're taking it. I'm saying in this particular argument on this particular show, it may be a reason why she's not pulling over the acting. I didn't say it was. I'm saying it is a possibility. I never say in concrete that's why she's not a good actress. I say it may be a reason in her mind why she's not coming across people that say that she's not performing.
Even the best actor would not play well if they have a bad director or a terrible script.
Oh no, indeed. And again, because I haven't seen it, I'm going to keep qualifying it because I haven't seen it and I will not see it. The question will come down to the people who are watching it by the end of the last episode, whether or not that changed throughout. Right? Whether or not the acting got better, she was playing the character in a particular way, I don't know. Nor am I going to, get terribly involved in here. But I will note that Cal G with this super chat says they are agreeing with AFK Bard, grew up on Cal Dodd and Steve Blum voicing Wolverine. And you can tell the difference.
Okay, I'm in me personally, I'm in kind of the two different camps because I do agree with Danny and I do agree with Culture. And I think it's in a case that you may have to take this. There's usually multiple factors at play when it comes to acting and it comes to a bad performance, because a lot of times bad acting can result on having a good actor who is given a terrible script or terrible writing or terrible dialogue, and they cannot do anything to make it work, to make it convincing. And on the other hand, there are cases where it's just you have an actor or actress who are maybe just inexperienced. They don't have this kind of work, and this is very new, familiar territory with them. And they may not have had a lot of time to be able to get familiar with what character they're playing, and they're trying to figure it out as they go along. And would you kind of agree to kind of that statement, Danny? Is that she's just trying to kind of find where her footing is for the first two episodes?
I agree 100%. I'm not saying in concrete. I don't, like I said, I'm not trying black, white, and that kind of stuff. I don't see color like that. I'm just saying some people let their mind get the best of them. And I understand this may be an excuse or a reason why some people, when they see the show, say she's not a good actor. I've heard that several times on other YouTubers that I watched yesterday and the day before. I'm just saying this may be a viable reason. I don't know what it is.
I think it's best to take it on a case-by-case basis.
Exactly.
I really do.
So can I ask y'all?
Okay.
And we'll start with Danny because he's in here next to me. When you look at the upcoming slate of Star Wars, are you excited about what's been presented to you through Celebration? Because that's ultimately the theme. Here today, what are we celebrating exactly? We can celebrate the past, and the problem is that they rely on the past so heavily that they don't offer much future. So I would ask you, what in the slate of upcoming Star Wars projects are you interested in?
Ahsoka, I'm definitely want to see that. I think that's going to be good. Anything that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau got their hands directly in. Mandalorian season 2, maybe a Boba Fett 2. I don't anything like that. Those two particularly get their hands in, I'm gonna have a certain level of excitement. I'm gonna have to see the trailers first before. I'm always gonna be excited because it's Star Wars. I said, I've been a Star Wars fan since 1977. I was 7 years old. Now I'm 51. So that tells you how long I've been hanging in there. I'm gonna hang in there until I close my eyes for the final time. So I'm going to be excited, but when I see the trailer and get more information on it, then that will raise or increase my excitement. But I definitely want to see Ahsoka because when I saw the Ahsoka episode in Mandalorian season 2, it was the best one other than Luke Skywalker moment. Those two are like 1A, 1B. So I think Ahsoka's going to be fire.
Okay. All right, and who?
And Rosario Dawson is a really good actress.
She's a great actress.
I'm right there with Comic Chat. I honestly, I tried to watch some Clone Wars stuff back in the day, and I'm gonna go back and watch it, but I never liked the idea of Ahsoka back then. But I honestly liked how they portrayed her in The Mandalorian, and I want to see what they do with her, because the universe is a really big kind of sandbox with a whole bunch of things to play with in the time period that they have for The Mandalorian now. And so I don't know, I want to see it, and I also want to see The Mandalorian. Those are my two things I'm like really excited for.
Me and AF, we on the same sheet, we on the same tune, buddy.
Now the only thing that I'm excited for in the whole thing, I know, is the sequel to Fallen Jedi. That's the only thing.
Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor is the only thing, because the game is okay. It's a decent game, decent acting from everybody in it. So that's everything that I'm excited for. Ahsoka, I couldn't care less, because I fucking hate her. One of the worst characters ever fucking made.
Phantom's on him. Phantom's on him. Culture.
I don't.
I've never liked her. And yes, it was Kenobi. I was not excited. Like I said, it has potential in a lot of stuff, but it still has a lot of messed up, stupid shit. And they are gonna mess it up. We know they're gonna mess it up later in the show. Nothing
Can I ask you
for
a
me.
question, sir?
Yeah.
Do you like Darth Vader?
Of course, I like Darth Vader.
Do you like Anakin Skywalker?
Yes, I like Anakin Skywalker.
Everything she learned was from him.
I don't fucking care.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I don't care.
Wow.
Ahsoka is one of the worst characters ever made. She should never been made. The Clone Wars should never been made. We have Clone Wars from 2003 to 2004. That's the only Clone Wars I need.
The Star Wars purists, especially on the EU, they have very strong takes here. I've always been a take it or leave it as far as Ahsoka goes. I think that the character is incredibly overused because it's Dave Filoni's favorite. And I believe that George is accurate. She was dead. So how they brought her back is very interesting.
It was awesome.
Maybe
If
because I'm
if she was an apprentice to Plo Koon, or I can't pronounce his name properly, but would have made or something like that. Everything like that would have been much better. But no, with Anakin and all that, no, thank you. She should have, if she existed, she should have been dead long ago.
And our good friend Ruben makes a beautiful point. Sunday Culture May 29th. Celebrate what? I hope you are feeling better. I will celebrate that. Ruben says, I celebrate authentic human beings, the fellowship. Let's celebrate what we will never bend the knee on, wanting quality over quantity. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think we need quality entertainment. And I feel like Disney and many other entities have cheapened their IPs in service of content to fill out their streaming services. And I think that's hurt every single brand across the board. Devalued a lot of good things.
Wow.
I don't think Danny probably don't want to hear this, but I don't think Favreau and Filoni are quite the saviors.
Oh, fuck no. Get them out of there. Please.
I mean, Favreau, I have more faith in Favreau than I do Filoni. I've been a Filoni fan, right? But at this point, I think Filoni is more of a company yes man than anything.
And the Filoni's a fucking hack.
And Boba Fett. The Boba Fett show kind of proved that. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. That was a fucking disaster.
They screwed the pooch on that.
I would say it's much like the actors, where depending on the role, they do a good or a bad job. Because like Filoni has done some really good stuff, and some of it, not so bad, just like anybody else,
I don't even like Mandalorian.
You are awesome by always inviting AFK Bard on here. She knows what the hell she's talking about. Keep on.
Well, you know, before I even know who
Mandalorian
Filoni was, I was watching. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying before I knew who Dave Filoni was, I was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is a super awesome animated show if you haven't seen it. But he did episodes of that. Like, yeah. And I found out belatedly. Yeah.
Do you know which episodes?
I can't name them off the top of my head, but he did some of the really good ones. And I found out after the fact, and I was like, that explains it.
Yeah.
So.
I would have to look this up. Hang on.
Who was Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni boss?
Say what now?
Who's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's boss?
The name that shall not be spoken.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're just gonna tell your boss, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and get fired.
Well,
that's essentially what would happen if they tell her to shut up and don't get fired. So they're trying to.
If you got a good idea, you can say, "Look, boss, here's my idea. It will freaking be awesome. You need to have freaking some faith in me. And if we end up doing it your way, I guarantee you people are not going to like it. And you know, you gotta stand up to the boss a little bit. You can stand up to the boss and still maintain your employment.
That theory works in Never Land. It does not work in Disneyland. Because if it did work in Disneyland, then we would have seen better stuff coming out of there. It's not. Kathleen Kennedy, she is got her handprints on that, and she's messing it up. So they can only do but so much. That's just my opinion. They can only do so much.
So I looked it up. So he was director, storyboard artist, and character designer for basically a good portion of the book one, Boy and Iceberg, Avatar Returns, Imprisoned, Jet, Blue Spirit, Fortune Teller, Northern Air Temple, and both parts of Siege of the North.
Nice.
Well,
those are great stuff.
I want to grab this. I want to grab this. I want to grab this super real quick, please. Bubba of Arabia now on Disney Plus for a Canadian too. Look, I love being able to have disagreements when it comes to this kind of stuff. I mean, like I said, my feelings on Ahsoka are never going to change. You know, I'm like, that's a take it or leave it character for me. Rosario Dawson, now very talented actress, did a very good job in her portrayal. The clips that I saw of the character. The question is that going to engage enough people to make it worthwhile? And again, it's the cheapening of the product overall. You know, if Ahsoka was truly good, Ahsoka would have been a film unto itself. And we're towards the end of the stream here by Mr. Tom Connors.
Can I just stick in there real quick that I think the biggest problem with Ahsoka is that the people who don't like her are generally ones who've watched like all of the extra stuff. And, you know, the general population who haven't watched Clone Wars and stuff, like she's a new character and a lot of them like her. And I've kind of have that point of view where I didn't see enough of her in the animated stuff to like really get much of it. And she feels new to me. And I think a lot of people will be excited because of that.
AFK, if you watch Clone Wars, you'll like Ahsoka.
I've watched like 4 episodes so far, and I do like the characters. So
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I thought, you know, it added to the prequels, and not in a way that they try and do it now, where it's like, okay, we're gonna, you know, do this in the movie, but then if you want to find out about this, you got to read the comic book, and then you got to go over here and watch the TV series to catch the next part. No, you didn't have to do that with the prequels and the Clone Wars. It's just the Clone Wars filled out, you know, things a little bit more, especially Anakin. You know, you watch.
They ruined Anakin in that show. God damn.
You watch the Clone Wars and you don't Anakin isn't as much of a, for lack of a better term, a crybaby. To me anyway, than he, because in the movie, if you
was
watch
awesome.
the movies, he's well, why aren't I on
the movies is perfect the way he is supposed to be.
All I know is I know Snips, and I walked out of that theater going, "What the fuck did I just watch? What the hell is this?"
Which one?
They called her Snips.
Huh.
I was like, "What the fuck is this?" There's me and some other guy in the theater. We both look at each other at the end of that, and we're like, "Oh my god, did we just sit through that shit?" Like, that was my experience of Clone Wars. I haven't seen much else. I know it's supposed to be some great show, but I went to see it in theaters thinking, "Yay, we get more Star Wars," and I'm like, this is Star Wars for babies.
Well, yeah, kind of.
No, I always felt like they messed up Anakin in the Clone Wars and ruined his character there. The Clone
You're a
Clone
little
Wars.
snippy. I'm gonna call you Snips or whatever the hell it was. It's like, oh my god,
Anakin
what?
was perfect the way he was in the prequels and the animated series from 2003, 2004. That's exactly how Anakin is supposed to be.
And here's Darth Scipio says something that I agree with. Filoni will use George Lucas characters to draw viewers to the Ahsoka series as she's not a very likable character. And there are a lot of fans for Ahsoka.
How is she not likable?
Again, I've never really enjoyed the character. But again, I can take or leave the character. There's a lot, believe it or not, in Star Wars. There's a lot of characters I could take or leave, and there are a handful that are usually our heroes that we love, right? We really genuinely.
I think it might be the case where people who may have watched, Clone Wars as much as Danny has, as much as many others have, may have not been fond of Ahsoka like in the first season.
Exactly.
But really, really grown to like her in every subsequent season as she got older. Mm-hmm. And I think in my case is that I always like Ahsoka. I just think that it's a Harley Quinn situation where I think that she may have been she's overused.
That's what they're doing most of them. Because a lot of people didn't like Omega. At first, I couldn't stand Omega in the Bad Batch, but towards the end of the series, she started growing on
the series. Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, let's get through these last few chats here. We got about 9 minutes before we're gonna be pulling the plug. I've got Ruben Christopher Haynes here in the background saying, bottom line, we each have a core set of values and principles. We love our fellow brothers and sisters. Remember, big business hates you. I agree with that. Yeah. So if they give you cuties level perversion, we need to stand now. Indeed. Yeah. And Boosh McFadden for $5 says, we love strong, independent women who have their own thoughts and ideas, unless they don't do what they're told. Disney. Well, I think that's actually kind of true, especially when it comes to Gina Carano specifically. Yeah, indeed.
Yep.
Yeah. There's F in the chat if you like Ahsoka. Well, there you go. There's a lot of F's in the chat. I'm fine with it, guys. I like what you like, love what you love. I will not yuck your yum. That is not my jam. Let's see. A lot of people are. It's a 50-50 split in the crowd. This is really interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a young, irritating Jedi that made a lot of mistakes, and I think that's the kind of the thing they hung on her, right? But it is what it is. But
anyway, good to have diverse thoughts about things.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. This is my favorite kind of thing. This is when I went to the comic place, or when I went to the theater, or when I go to a sports bar, or whatever it is, right? Yeah. I can engage in discussion that can sometimes end up in a beautiful argument. And you know what? At the end of it, you part as friends, and it was great. And the next time you see the person, it's the same thing. It's not the same argument. It's just a good time. I will say this, and I will say this. I will say this. I don't usually get into politics here on my channel, right? And I
are you serious?
We have recently. Well, in the night stream I do. Like tonight's stream, I'll probably have some politics, especially in light of what just happened in California. But we have we have the opportunity here on my channel, as we have many times, to be able to talk and communicate about maybe racially divisive issues, maybe identitarian divisive issues. And I have always appreciated the fact that here on this on this show in particular, we can do it and still have so much love for each other without any anger at each other at the end of it. So all of you are wonderful human beings and adults that I appreciate. Just know that. And all of you out there, I appreciate each and every one of you. But we will be talking about something tonight that I am not going to be apologetic for. We are going to be talking about Tom Cruise's Top Gun 2, and I will have spoilers on that stream.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
What happened in California?
Oh, okay. All right. I will bring up the headline. I will not comment on it. This will probably be something that I talk about this evening.
Is it like something that happened into the entire state, or is it?
No. Specifically in Napa Valley, and what Napa is known for, right? But this is something that just happened. It just came from TMZ.
Okay.
And I will not comment or say a word.
Right, that one. Yeah, heard about that.
Sorry, I despise this woman.
The title writes it. Like, you don't even need to read on.
No, yeah, I agree. I've said, I'm as a Californian myself.
Does it say water is wet underneath there too, or?
Yeah, I don't know.
A bunch of drunk fuckers anyway. We all know.
I despise this woman. I despise her. I
despise all politicians. Actually,
there you go.
That's right.
Tonight, I will probably give you the background on that person and what actually occurred. So on tonight's late night culture stream, which is 8 p.m. Pacific, join us. It'll be a good time. So.
You know the difference between a politician and a lawyer?
No.
A lawyer actually does help some people.
Wow.
No, I wasn't even really meant to be a fucking joke. That was serious. Yeah.
No, I know.
Very true.
All right. Well, let's wind this down. We've had great humans here. I love everybody that showed up today. I really appreciate you being here. We'll start with our turtle man, the man we have to say thank you to at least once or twice a year because of all of his service and everything else that he did. And of course, the people that we lost on this Memorial Day, which is tomorrow, everyone. We will talk and say goodbye to our friend Shellback, TJC.
Well, don't thank me tomorrow, okay? Do not.
Well, this is not your holiday, obviously. I mean, you're still with us.
Yeah.
Gladly.
Yeah.
So.
Right. That was my point that I was getting to, is I'm still drawing breaths. So yeah, which I still run into it at least once every year. Seems like somebody like, oh, thank you for your service. I'm like, no.
Yours is the one that most people forget about. Unfortunately, that's the problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it just if you have a if you have a military cemetery anywhere near you, just take a trip and just pay some respects, there.
Indeed.
And I'll probably end up talking about this. I mean, there was something else I was thinking about talking about, but seeing as how it's that holiday being observed tomorrow, I'll probably talk about that on my Yelling at Park Cars warm up show. I've been doing it at 5:30 p.m. Pacific on Mondays, but last week I changed it to 6. I might do that again, but either way, it's either going to be 5:30 or 6 p.m. Tomorrow. And
excellent. Yelling and the Yelling pre-show are always a good time, folks. So do check that out. And
I thought he was talking about scheduling masturbation.
Oh, I don't think you have to get.
What? I do. I'm a busy man here. If I don't plan this shit out, I ain't getting my tug in, right?
You can't multitask.
We have another.
I'm courteous.
We have another visitor, first-time visitor to this show.
Be sure to check out the pre-show tomorrow with those guys. I didn't mean to jump.
No, it's fine. But I wanted to say thank you for Jace joining us today. It's his first visit here on the Sunday.
Jace, you're awesome.
Yeah. Appreciate you joining us today. Of course, everybody knows this man, Mr. Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Why are we ending already? I just fucking got here.
Because we were going to go for 90 minutes.
Yeah, he promised 90 minutes. He said it.
I feel bad for you, Tom.
We've got to get
backstage.
We got Makini, doing stuff. We got
I see how it is.
Stuff. That's not how you're on tonight's show, Tom. You're
exactly.
If I decide to show up.
Oh wow! Okay.
Can I have Tom's spot if that's the case?
Yeah, sure. We've got AFK Bard here, of course, who will tell you that AFKs will always say they don't do anything anymore, but they have done things in the past. Occasionally, they do things in the future. And if AFK buys a new action figure or a cool thing, occasionally we get to see that too. AFK.
Well, thanks. Yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I actually do have a Hot Toys that I got like a week ago, and I just haven't done anything with it because I openly admit that my recording skills suck. I have horrible lighting and no good setup. So I've been contemplating what I could do so that I could actually unbox it and share it and, have it look somewhat decent. So maybe something in the future.
Well, I can't wait for it. Thank you for doing what you've done and continue to do it. And a very special guest today, Mr. Comic Chat, also known as Danny. The man has a great channel and very, very interesting takes.
I might disagree with you a lot, Comic, but dude, I love you, man.
Yeah,
I love you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
thank you. Appreciate it. Feelings mutual.
Yeah.
Thanks, Culture.
You bet.
For being on, for inviting me, man. I see the links on Sundays, but usually I'm busy. But this Sunday I happen to be off, and this is a topic that I really feel passionate about. So I wanted to put my 2 cents in. So
and I appreciate you being here, and you're always welcome. It's why you're in the chat group. I appreciate your support, my friend, and I do. Like I said, I'm not kidding. I appreciate your takes. Last but not least, the man amongst us that is the most talented, I believe. As you can see here on the page on the page in front of you, Mr. Makini Dross.
You clearly have not seen my cock magic then.
Oh my God.
Wow. He's got a point. I'm not be able to trump that. No, thank you all for everybody being here. Of course, it's an absolute honor to actually be on stream with the one and only Danny of Comic Chat. It's a very pleasure to be on your stream with you. Of course, tomorrow is my morning. Tomorrow is my art blog, Maki Sketch Diary. It happens at 4 p.m. Tuesday is my pencil-focused videos called Hatch Free. Thank you, Fat Steven, for that one. That's at 2 p.m. Thursday, usually Thursday would be Makini Cafe, but unfortunately, because of my scheduling, we may have to move that over to a Friday or so. And Friday is the morning sketches that I do every week. And then on Sunday, next Sunday, June 5th at 12:30 p.m. Pacific, mark your calendars, Makini Live Season 7 returns. It's going to be me, Bruce Lombardo, and Maz Mama Bear. And we're going to have plenty of guests coming this season as our road to 1K and monetization continues. Thank you.
Yeah. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting Makini. Makini's channel has almost gotten there. He's nearly there. He deserves the support that he's been getting. Obviously, he's very gifted. His draw streams are great. His panels are incredible. We have some of the best creators that you're going to find right here on this panel. And if you're not subscribed to them, please consider it. The links are in the chat. We've got 6 going to town in there. Thank you for that, 6. And thank you for 100 likes today, everybody. I do appreciate you. I'm going to be on later with Lorena Creole. We're going to do some Welcome to Florida stuff. It's going to be great. I know we have another theme park attractions that were never built conversation coming up with Chris Gore over on her channel in the near future. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I do have my new channel launching on Wednesday. So do check out the Culture DIY channel, which I will reveal the name and everything on Wednesday, June 1st. And very excited about that.
What was that record scratch?
Yeah, that was Tom.
That was beautiful.
It's my birthday, you know.
Aw. Happy birthday.
I was saying nice things.
About your shit, not me.
Thank
you, Bard.
I got to do something for Tom.
Thank you.
Week.
All right. Well, on that note, I had a lot of time. I had a lot of fun this time. I always have a lot of fun. Thanks you for 100 likes once again, everybody. Anybody have final thoughts on the way out the door?
You forgot my birthday.
AFK is awesome.
I didn't forget your birthday. I wish
you forgot my birthday.
You're awesome too, man.
I wish you happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Tom. I'll do something for
Thank
you
you guys. At least you guys remembered, unlike Culture.
Happy birthday, Mr. Tom.
I wish you... I give up.
Anymore, sir.
I give up.
Before we wrap it up, Ahsoka fucking sucks. Thank you.
Man.
Okay.
Phantom Zone. Phantom Zone.
Get the outro, Culture. Get out of here.
I heard if you put a few drinks in her, she does.
Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time.
That is disrespectful.
Bye.
Bye. Yo.
Dad's upset.
The views and opinions expressed by everybody here do not reflect that of Culture Casino nor its affiliations. We respect each other, speak friend to enter. Don't let us junk in your yum, basically.
Everybody wish Tom a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tom!
Birthday, Tom!
Do you want me to pop out like Marilyn Monroe?
Happy birthday again, brother.